Hey guys, this is Siettmann Sports, and with the NBA season just a month away, we're going to be talking about how this season could be as wide open as ever. Right now, we're coming off a season in which the Warriors lost in 6 games to the Toronto Raptors, and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson both suffered season-ending injuries in that season. The 2019 offseason was crazy. Kevin Durant ended up on the Nets, Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers. The entire dynamic of the NBA was flipped on its head. We're now 9 years removed from the start of the Big Three era, where LeBron joined Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade in Miami. He then went to go join Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love in Cleveland, and the Warriors dynasty began at the exact same time he went back to Cleveland and started their run. It's been a long time since there's been a wide open NBA season, really since the 2009-2010 season in which the Celtics played the Lakers in the NBA Finals. Now we fast forward to this year, and there aren't any more big threes anymore. There are a lot of teams with 2 stars and talent surrounding them. So let's just look into real quick the teams that really have a shot to win the NBA championship this year. In the Western Conference, you can't help but start with the teams in Los Angeles. First, the Los Angeles Clippers, who acquired Kawhi Leonard this offseason and traded for Paul George to add to an already deep roster. The Clippers are the favorites in the West right now, but they're not prohibitive favorites like the Warriors once were. Then we go across the hall to the Lakers, who have LeBron James and now Anthony Davis. Are those two going to be enough to carry the Lakers to a championship? And how is their fit going to work out? We have the Houston Rockets, who also have a funky fit on their hands, adding Russell Westbrook to an already ball-dominant offense around James Harden. How is that going to work? Are they going to be able to share the ball? And is there going to be enough shooting on the floor for a team like the Rockets, who emphasizes shooting the 3 so much? You have the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Gary Harris, all 3 of them who are 25 and younger. That means that they can only get better. This is a team that went to Game 7 of the conference semifinals last year, and a team that a lot of people have as one of the up-and-comers in the league. You have the Portland Trail Blazers, who went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum are in the prime of their careers. But with Jusuf Nurkic out for most of the season and the addition of Hassan Whiteside and losses of other pieces, are they going to be able to put it together? The Utah Jazz is a team that could make a jump. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are one of the best pairings in the league. Now you add that to Mike Conley, who they traded from Memphis in the offseason, and Bojan Bogdanovic, and this team has a chance to be way better offensively than they have been. They've already been one of the best defensive teams in the league. If they can be a top 10 offense, they could be a contender as well. And how can you leave out the San Antonio Spurs? Well, they're a little bit of a flawed team, and the team in the league that shoots the least threes in the NBA, no team that has Greg Popovich can be counted out. DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge are obviously their 2 bigger stars, but watch out for Derek White and DeJounte Murray to take the big leap this season, both who I think have the potential to be really good. And lastly, how could we forget about the Golden State Warriors? Although Klay Thompson is going to miss significant time with an injury, he could be back in February or March. They added D'Angelo Russell in a sign trade with Kevin Durant this offseason, and while the pairing with Steph Curry may be a little bit shaky, this team has the chance to still be one of the best offensive teams in the league. And I'm going to look forward to seeing Steph go hero ball mode. He may have a chance to win MVP. When all of those guys are healthy, including Draymond Green, in the playoffs, you really can't count the Warriors out either. So there are really 7 to 8 legit contenders in the Western Conference. Now we go over to the Eastern Conference, and there really aren't that many. But really, to me, the Bucks and the Sixers stick out. The Bucks have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's coming off an MVP season, and he's looking to take the next leap forward to progress in his game. He's looking to take the Bucks to the NBA Finals, a place they haven't been in a long time. Now you have the Sixers, on the other hand, who are going against the grain and building a giant basketball team, adding Al Horford and Josh Richardson into the mix this season. I'd be shocked if these teams weren't in the Eastern Conference Finals unless they were hit with devastating injuries. Then we have the Boston Celtics, who have the addition of Kemba Walker, who they swapped out with Kyrie Irving. And while I do like the Celtics young core, I think that they're about a year away. So as you can see, I named about 8 or 9 teams that all have a shot to win the NBA championship, and I don't think their odds are that far away from each other. the ball bounces the right way, an injury or two happens the right way, and a lot of these teams could be in position to win the NBA championship. And quite frankly, that's not how it's been in the NBA for the last decade or for most of NBA's history. I mean, let's think about it, guys. You go back to Bill Russell's Celtics, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird dominating in the 80s, the Bulls dominating in the 90s, the Lakers in the early 2000s, you have the mid-2000s Spurs, and then the Big Three era topped off with Golden State, who probably was the most talented team of all time, and we've had a lot of sure things every NBA season. But this season is actually wide open, and I absolutely love it. And the question pertains, do people actually want parity in the NBA? People always say that they want every team to have a shot, and that's what makes it interesting. But were super teams actually something that kept the NBA afloat? I think to the more hardcore NBA fan, parity is going to make this league a lot more exciting. It's going to make more regular season games matter. And if you already buy League Pass and are tuned into all of the games and read articles on the NBA every single day, this season is probably the most exciting in recent memory, especially with this past offseason. But to the casual fan, they're drawn in by superstars. They're drawn in by these super teams. The Golden State Warriors had the highest rated games out of anyone the last couple of years, and globally and internationally, they're by far the most popular team. The question for the NBA is going to be, how much attention can they draw to their sport without really that one marquee team? Sure, there are stars on every team in the league, but is there a team that you feel like you have to watch, you have to root against? Is there a villain? Because that's what a lot of these dynasties have been for the NBA. They've been villains, they've been reason to watch and root against a lot of the time. It's what the Warriors were with Kevin Durant. They were constantly the most hated team in the league, but people watched, they paid attention. They wanted to see what would happen. Would the Warriors win a third championship, or would they lose like they did this past season and have everything fall apart? With having 4 NBA stars residing in Los Angeles now, is the NBA going to be hurt by the fact that the league's premier players are playing on late night schedules in the Eastern time zone? The league benefited a lot from LeBron James, its biggest star, playing at 7 and 8 o'clock almost on a regular basis. And last year we saw ratings drop, and I think part of that was because the LeBron effect, he was playing a lot of his games late at night. So the next few seasons, the question of whether or not super teams versus parity in the NBA is going to be answered. We're going to see it in the ratings. We're going to see it in how popular the NBA becomes. And can it translate the craziness and the offseason hype that it gets into the regular season and into the playoffs as well? Personally, I'm super excited for this NBA season. Not only to see how the new stars fit in on their new teams, but also to see the playoffs and see how many teams actually have a real shot at winning the championship. Teams that you don't always think about as typical championship contenders. The Utah Jazz, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Denver Nuggets, the Portland Trailblazers. All these teams have a realistic shot, and there's no team that has a stranglehold on the NBA. But like I said, for the casual viewer, some people like these super teams. They like someone to root for or root against. It makes everything very polarizing for the NBA, and the NBA is a league built off of its stars. Its star power is more powerful than anything in sports, maybe outside of the quarterback in football. This season is absolutely going to be drama-filled, and I'm going to be tuning in every single night. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Siettmann Sports, for more NBA content throughout the entire season. And again, let me know in the comments who you think is going to be the 2020 NBA champion. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys.